Getting everything set up on him.
Oh, I am.
Oh gosh, guys, we're live. What do we do?
We're live. Quick.
I'm just.
Hey, apparently there's a firmware I need to download. Yeah. Oh well.
So it's hooked to Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Well, mine's wired, but yeah.
Well, right, but I mean, it's hooked up to the internet.
Mm-hmm. They have a service called ArcadeNet. Hi, everybody. It's Gather the Nerds 165 Epic something edition. I'm Cav. That's Hannah.
Hi.
And Nick is also here. Hannah, the keeper of the windows of opportunity. I'm still laughing at that.
In the closed window.
Closed window.
Those of you guys that don't know, we have a cutoff for when we're doing our agendas and stuff for the week. And I always use the Mace Windu gif of him cutting off someone's arm or something.
Head.
And so this time I said that is a window of closed window or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that you tried to say that it was somebody's arm.
I was Star Wars. I'm used to it being arms.
Yeah, but this was a bounty hunter. This was Jango Fett.
It's been a long time since I've seen the prequels.
Well, apparently, it's been a long time since Keira Knightley was in a Star Wars movie to the point that she doesn't even remember what character she played.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh, so
Sam!
It could be worse.
It could be. I mean,
World
didn't
Sega Bass Fishing Champion, Sam.
Yes, that's right. Don't you forget it.
Here's also something fun that apparently we can do now.
Swap them.
I can move people.
How'd you do that?
Apparently it's new in StreamYard.
All right.
So, yep. Oh, somebody's got, I don't know. Is that the machine back there?
I was going to say, we already talked about the new furniture in your office?
We have not. Well, we were talking about it, and then we decided to go live and start and talk about it. So, yeah, that is a Legends Ultimate arcade machine. You can get them at Sam's. It's the version 1.1 machine. It is so flippin' cool.
What games?
Oh, man.
It comes with about 300 games out of the box, including Aladdin Asteroids. I'm just reading off the front here. Yeah. Bubble Bobble, Burning Rubber Burger Time, Centipede, Tetris, Super Star Wars Trilogy, which is really hard.
I see Felix.
Yeah, Fix-It Felix Jr. is there. Joe and Mac. Tron. Disney's The Lion King, and a bunch of others.
Which version of Lion King?
There's a lot of
I have no idea. I haven't tried it yet. But the internet is full of resources, and there might be another 1,000 games on it now.
Okay.
And so running off a USB stick that's about that big.
Lynn did that. He built, right? You built your own. I mean, you gave it to Phil, but
whatever you're saying, I didn't do it.
Sorry, it was all legal. I think
he bought it. He bought it online at a store, and it shipped to the house.
Yeah,
sure.
But
it's an arcade machine that is registered and legal.
Yes.
Well,
it has the designs and everything.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing, and I don't know where this falls, licensing wise. Is all of those ROMs and stuff are available publicly on the Internet Archive. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not talking about going out to some shady dark web or whatever. They're easily publicly available.
I was going to say, I thought we had some legal ROMs, but I don't know anything about that. I'm clueless, so.
Well, I thought the rule was that essentially it's all legal if you have the game but no way to play it. Like if you own a copy of the game.
I mean,
that's what I was told. I don't know.
I don't know either. All I know is that even the 300 games it comes with is awesome. The build quality on it is actually pretty good. Build didn't take very long.
Nice. Yeah.
The side graphics are cool because it's a roll out vinyl. It's not a sticker. It's like a vinyl poster, and there's mounting holes that you put clear screws in. So yeah, it's a really cool machine. I played some NBA Jam.
I'm surprised they didn't just sticker it on there to begin with.
Version 1 was the stickers, and apparently the quality wasn't very good. So version 1.1, and they wanted to give people who didn't want those stickers the ability to do other things with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna take one of those off, and I think I'm gonna send it to Eric and see if he can cut something that same size with the same holes from. I mean, we could have Sweeper Bot back there on the side of the cabinet.
There you go.
That'd be amazing.
Does that have like the T-track that runs around the edge of it, like a traditional game?
Are you talking about the?
Like it looks like a piece of rubber around, like a trim, but it's called it's like T something or other.
See, yeah, there is some. Yes, there's some silver T-track that is around it that some people have had issues with quality wise. I haven't, but they've just replaced it with traditional like that T-track stuff, and it's been fine.
Cool. Cool.
It's fun. It was really hard to get up the stair. The box was really hard to get up the stairs. It was heavy.
Sure. I'm sure. How big's the monitor?
That's a 20. I think that's a. Hold on, looking at my monitor. Looking over there. Probably a 27-ish, 25, 26, 27. Yeah.
Just get your thumb, kind of measure it out that way.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna change out the. I think I'm gonna change out the buttons for light up buttons.
Oh yeah.
And then
I've got some.
I'm gonna try to do that, and then there's some other stuff. You can't see it because the camera angle, but the top. Let's see if I can do this with it. No, it's mounted, so I can't do it now. The top is light up. It says Legends Ultimate. They have developed a board, an LED based board that goes on that space. That depending on what game you're playing, it will show the logo of the game on the board.
Oh,
that's awesome.
So I'm on a pre-order list. So hopefully by November, I will.
You can just open it up like in the back, and you put your USB or whatever in there.
It's all underneath the monitor. It's all up front.
Okay.
So it's all out there, whatever. Now I did, because of what you guys have done with Raspberry Pis, I went and bought a Pi, and I think I'm going to run RetroPie and see if people can integrate it with the controls and stuff like that. People have done that, so there's a flirkin on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's fun. So as things change in whatever with it, we'll keep the viewers up to date. But I will say it is pretty awesome. I've been waiting for it to go back in stock at Sam's, and I just happened to come across it, and it's like, all right.
And what's the brand?
Legends Ultimate Arcade. They've been in stock online. I ordered it online at Sam's, way more than they have been previously. So I was pretty excited about that. So
Lynn's done a couple of things with Pis for a long time. He had our server on a Pi, right?
Well, I had a known cloud server, so storing our files and stuff like that.
Nice.
But we watched stuff on there for a while.
We did have a bit of a Plex setup for a bit. Yeah.
Some people use it. Some people use them for firewalls too.
Yep.
Basically, run.
I was thinking about it. I got a 4 recently.
Pi-hole. Yeah. So, all right, we've got a absolutely monstrosity of an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Really, 3 in 1.
It really is, because we've been gone for a few weeks. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a little Shia LaBeouf. There's a little Batman. There's a little Marvel. Some
Quite
DC.
a bit of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from.
Lynn was very excited. He wanted to make sure that got.
Yeah,
I could tell.
that's true. We got some Fall Guys. So
That skeleton was creepy, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
I forgot to add the image. I'm not sure I want to. I don't know that I really want to.
Yeah, I'd always assumed it was like people in costumes, but that looks like.
I mean,
not people,
you're not wrong.
Squished
Like-
people.
So the equally creepy thing is, if you played Fall Guys, there are these jelly bean people, right? And there are some levels that have basically slime on them. Like where it's slippery or whatever, like in different areas like pits and whatnot. The general consensus is those are the melted bodies of the ones who have fallen. So Fall Guys is really dark.
I mean, I think that tracks with Devolver.
It does, 100%. Yeah.
All right,
They
so
don't do anything that's not dark.
Yeah. All right, so we are Nick? Are we a month away from Mandalorian, roughly?
Yeah,
Is it not? Yeah.
October
Yeah.
30th.
Hmm.
Nice. I was at Costco earlier today. They still have several of the child and accessories.
Yeah,
Aw.
we need to get to Costco because I think someone may end up with one for Christmas.
Nice.
You?
They-
Gift to yourself? Yeah.
They had they from the last time when I think it was Jeremy who took the picture and sent it to the group. The pile is significantly smaller.
Oh, I'm certain of that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Because the thing is I think they were sold out for a little while, which doesn't shock me that they had that many kind of come in later. Speaking of things coming in, Star Wars related. So, I got my I got my Boba Fett helmet, right?
Yes. Yes.
I have another Boba Fett helmet coming, and it is the prototype armor. It will be here tomorrow. So it's all white. Yeah.
Sweet.
You should get Harper the helmet that what's her name has in Rebels. The pink.
So interesting that you would say that because that's what she's going to be for Halloween. We've actually already got the costume. It's not a full helmet. It's just like a half helmet, kind of a masked thing. If I come across a helmet for a kid, I will totally do it. They just don't. They don't make them, and the only ones that are made are like $400. And I'm like,
so probably like.
I mean, I don't even have $400 in the 2 helmets that I have. Like I'm not, and they're from Star Wars, so yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
Yeah,
but
maybe if I get a 3D printer, I'll do that.
Nice. That means next week we expect you to do the entire episode in the prototype helmet.
Well, my hope is within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna make some stands because I have 3 helmets. I have the Poe Dameron helmet and then both Boba Fett helmets, and I want to have them at my office on the desk behind me. Right now, it's just a hodgepodge of Star Wars stuff. So I need to kind of organize that, kind of like this stuff back here. It's just a hodgepodge of things.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
Nothing wrong with a hodgepodge.
Nope.
well, not when it looks cool.
Speaking of hodgepodge, don't forget I still have those glass cases for you guys. They're still sitting in my storage unit for all of your pops and whatnot.
Okay. I had totally lost what you were even talking about.
Oh yeah, no, that some sort of organization had to happen beforehand. But I have those IKEA glass shelves that I don't have anything in right now, and I have several of them. So I told them they could come get some.
When we move, maybe we can grab them.
Gotcha. All right, so Giancarlo Esposito has talked about Moff Gideon's role in season 2. Nick, I know nothing about this, so did he say anything that is telling in terms of what may or may not happen?
Not necessarily. He basically goes on to say, I'll be going toe to toe with Mando. Okay, it's an iconic battle, and I want to disarm him mentally as well. So you're kind of already seeing that at the end of Mandalorian season 1. So I don't know that he really disclosed anything, but there's going to have to be some explanation as to why he has the Darksaber at the end of it all. The thing was, they explained it. Moff Gideon was part of the what did he say? Because we just watched it the other day. When the siege happened on Mandalore, and the guy that plays Mando was a kid, Moff Gideon was there. So that explains how he knows about the Mandalorians. So I'm kind of wondering if that's how he ended up with the Darksaber, because at one point, Darth Maul had it in Rebels, and then you also see Sabine Wren with one. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Excellent. He says, "You may think I'm a villain, but I'm trying to harness some energy and some powers for a path that could be best for all." Isn't that what every villain says?
That's what every Imperial and even a Jedi say. So, I don't know. I'm very interested. I kind of wonder if he was at one point was a Mandalorian himself and kind of had to convert to save his life. And then when they took over Mandalore during the Purge, if he took over that mantle of being the leader, because whoever has the Darksaber is the leader.
Story.
Do what?
That's too good of a story. You're ruining what's actually going to happen in the show.
This is true.
You saw kind of something similar in, was it Rebels, right? When she goes back. So it could happen.
It could. I mean, and And the reason that what I was, and this is really hard to explain to an 8-year-old, but she couldn't understand why they were taking off their helmets or weren't taking off their helmets. But Sabine always took her helmet off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really hard to explain, and I probably did a horrible job. But it's basically because they've lived in the shadow of everything that happened. And so if they never take their helmet off, no one ever sees their face, so they can conceal who they really are.
Yeah.
And so that's part of their religion. And Harper did not get it. She was like, but Sabine takes her helmet off. I know, because that's not every Mandalorian person that does that. You know, it's just this group.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I gave up.
He also goes on to say, it's so exciting to be on a show where I can wear a cape and own it, where I can have a lightsaber and really own it. He also says he will command a larger vehicle, hint, hint.
It's everyone's dream.
He was in his own TIE fighter, so most likely it'll be an AT-AT or something like that.
Yeah.
So some version of that.
He looked really awesome in that cape. Like,
Yeah.
he definitely did.
I mean, was he in Breaking Bad as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the box knife guy, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I have not seen the show. You told me about that one person. So anyway, he plays it really well. I mean, he plays Moff Gideon really well. And it makes you really think like he is no joke and he's not going to play around.
Mhm.
So
Just from what we saw at the end, like his presence, like the body language, like he's not playing around.
yeah. The other cool part is they tied in the Death Troopers. So the only other time that we've seen the Death Troopers have been in Rogue One. And you see that's the troopers that are trying to get her talking to her dad, ended up shooting her dad. That's the only time you've seen them. And so then to see them years later still being used is really pretty cool.
That is cool.
So.
Something that some people think is not cool is Daisy Ridley was talking about the Kenobi reveal on what the story may or may not have been. She says, quote, at the beginning, they were toying with an Obi-Wan connection. There were different versions. Then it really went to no one. And then it came to episode 9 and JJ pitched me this film. I was like, oh yeah, Palpatine is your granddaddy. He says, and 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So even then as we were filming, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be. So that could be part of it. I still think it's Rey Star Wars. My name is Rey Star Wars.
We were really hoping for Obi-Wan. That would have been great.
Well, and they lead you to like every single movie kind of leads that way, like you hear his voice.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Palpatine side of it. To be honest, I mean, I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was like, it's a little weird.
Maybe Palpatine also created Obi-Wan, so they are still kind of connected. That'll be in like
deleted scenes.
the next franchise.
That's in that comic book that you only find in that certain section of things.
Yeah. So there's something else that speaking of Star Wars, it has been confirmed Fast and Furious 9 is going to space.
We called it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
For years.
Yes.
I think they've been on every other continent. It only made sense that they'd be in space.
So Ludacris had hinted at the possibility during a previous interview. Michelle Rodriguez apparently may have spilled the beans a little bit during a recent interview on the Jess Cagle show. And she basically said, oh, no way. How'd you guys find that out? See what happens? People start talking behind the scenes, man. When a movie doesn't come out and forget about it, things get out. Nobody was supposed to know that. Rodriguez went on to confirm her character will miss out on the zero gravity action. But she was proud of how production became more inclusive behind the scenes after she raised issues with the producer. She says, I'm not lucky enough to hit space, but we did get a female writer and showed a lot of love, I think, on this one. We're able to find a bit more attention and love for the girls in the movie. I'm really hopeful that shows through in the final product.
That's awesome. And they're going to just keep making more, so she'll probably be in another one.
She'll be back.
I think they announced 10 is it. Now that doesn't mean they're not going to have some sort of like Hobbs versus Shaw versus
Right.
Fast and the Furious. It might be the last standalone movies. Hey, look who it is! It's Josh. So,
Gosh.
well, my thing is,
Creeper is
if
on my
they're gonna be
driveway.
in space, they've got to make it realistic. When they go to throw a punch, it's got to be.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be.
So they were talking about. I think this has to be Tom Cruise. That's the name is in my head. Is that the next Mission Impossible or something like that? They're going to film in space. They're going to do something like in the lower atmosphere, some zero gravity
SpaceX
stuff.
or something is involved.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and that Tom Cruise is going to be the one piloting that space shuttle.
He's gonna have to learn how to do it, just like he learned how to fly a jet.
I was gonna say
the
he's
same.
Maverick. He can do it.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. I mean, maybe that's how the new Top Gun movie actually ends. Is he flies or whatever, hits the eject button, ejects into space, and holds his breath long enough to get onto the International Space Station. Boom! Mission Impossible 6.
There you go.
Maverick and Ethan Hunt have been the same person
all
the
along.
whole time.
It does
We
seem
just didn't
impossible.
We just didn't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's Tom Cruise. It could happen.
It can happen.
For
The
sure.
Tom Cruise verse.
I mean, you look at a movie, like you go back to a movie like Cliffhanger, and yes, I'm referencing Cliffhanger here. One of the best parts of Cliffhanger was in the trailer, the original trailer, where he jumps across this giant chasm. And nobody questioned, I mean, they chuckled at it, but nobody questioned it because that was Sylvester Stallone.
Mhm.
Like, you just don't question it. It just happens.
Yeah,
I
and
wanna
then
go-
Rock
I wanna-
did something. The Rock
I
did
wanna
something similar, and they're like, "Yeah, he wouldn't make it by a long shot."
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're not Sylvester Stallone levels yet, Rock.
Yeah,
I mean, here's the like,
He would
I-
fall like a.
Rock.
like a rock.
nice. I long for the days of those ridiculous 90s action movies, like mid 90s, early 2000s. To me, I mean, in some ways, that is the peak of entertainment cinema right there, because nobody cared if it made sense, if it was actually physically possible. Forget science, forget physics. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to rip a tree out of the ground and hit somebody with it. I mean, that's just what happens. Like, you just don't question it. I miss
think-
those days.
That's kind of what makes the Fast and the Furious so fun. Because, like, with Hobbs and Shaw, and the other movies too, but, like, since Hobbs and Shaw was the latest, when you have him, like, holding on, and then there's a plane or not the plane, but the helicopter.
Oh,
He's
the
trying
chain.
to, like, with the chain. You're like, I don't think that's really possible, but who cares? Because it's fun.
I mean, Captain America did it.
That's right.
But he had super soldier serum. So,
It's true.
yes, and the Transformer movies.
Josh,
So
we're talking about real movies here, not Transformers.
The Fast and the Furious.
Real.
It's on a different level.
Yes.
But the Transformer movies are fun too.
I mean,
ones
to
that
be
I saw.
fair, we would absolutely put more credence in comic book movies with crazy stunts like that than we would Fast and the Furious.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know.
Well,
I
Just
think
saying.
Comic
I mean,
book
like
movies,
even
explain
looking
it.
back at like Fast and Furious 1, where they're jumping off the semi onto the car, like that's realistic because it was like 10 feet max.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see that because just stretching alone, you're going to be at least 5.5 feet. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
And,
crazy.
and stunt people did that stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
Like it
Right.
was
They lost
what
me
are-
when The Rock grabbed a rocket. That's where I'm like, I'm kind of over this whole thing.
Wasn't
I've
the
never
stuff
been
Been a
over
good
it.
thing.
Wasn't the stuff on him?
I that's what I mean. Him grabbing the rocket is what really put me back in. Like,
Yeah,
not over it. I'm
exactly.
like, this is
I still love
like,
the
man,
whole.
I was wondering, like, if they really going to be able to take this to the next level. Rock grabs a rocket.
Yeah.
I'm back in 100%.
I
Yeah.
still love when they're I don't remember which character it was, but when they're on the ice and like the door comes off and he's just like sliding across the ice on the door.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Some of my-
To me, though,
I mean,
if you were driving and your door fell off and you had to do it, that makes a little more sense to me.
it does, but I just love it. It's one of my favorite parts. And then I think he ends up using it as like a shield or something.
Again,
playground.
makes sense to me.
Is the sliding on the door on the ice, is that an homage to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? I feel like it
I
has to
mean-
be.
Actually, there's Vin Diesel in the back. Bingo.
I mean, that's what it
Someday
needs
I'm
to
gonna do
be. And that's the thing. Honestly, that is why I miss movies, like going to movies so much right now, is because of that escapism. Like, yes, it's ridiculous, but it is the greatest thing I've ever seen in that moment. And so now there's nothing. Like, we don't have
Right.
anything right now.
I think it's because you want those things to be real to an extent. You want
Yeah.
to see that happen and
So-
be all awesome. So who cares if it's real or not? Like,
Yeah.
don't come at me with your science and your math and your plausibility. I don't care. For this couple of hours,
There's
this is
t-shirt.
real.
I
Did you guys
believe
see
just-
the picture that The Rock tweeted of his front gate?
It's
I put
ripping
it-
off the
Oh,
gate.
Yeah.
So see, maybe he could get a rocket.
Yeah,
I
give me a
believe
second.
You just did
Give me
the
a
nerd
second.
version of "Come
I'm
at me,
gonna-
bro."
Give me a second. I'm going to throw that up so people can see it.
And Ryan Reynolds apparently trolled him, but I didn't get to see the response that he
Aw.
sent.
Yeah, give me 1 second. This is what I love about StreamYard. Like, oh, I need something.
That's
Okay.
why, he got his Hobbs and Shaw spinoff. I don't see Vin Diesel like ripping the gates off of doors.
No, that's how he got into Shazam and Black Adam.
Yeah. Bam.
Yeah.
The Rock was late for work. His gate wouldn't open, so he ripped it off with his bare hands.
I don't know if that actually is how that went.
That's what he tweeted.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Why
I know.
didn't he just? Well, I guess he would still need a car. I was gonna say, why didn't he just climb over the side?
you
yeah,
you
'cause
can't
You can
tell
call
me
for a car service.
you
Oh,
can't
Uber.
tell me he doesn't have a truck big enough with a brush guard on it or something to just push that gate off.
Just
Right.
smoke the gate and move
Yeah,
on.
but
Yeah.
that's not as cool.
But it
See,
came
but
off the hinges, though.
I was
That's
gonna
the
say
thing.
if you look at the bottom where the hinges are, is it possible that he just lifted that up and tossed
Absolutely.
it?
Screwed
I
it or
mean-
something.
Absolutely.
But the gate looks a little bent. Like he's like, man, I got to make this look better than this. Like,
The crazy part, though, is he had to hire security people to come fix it.
Right.
yeah,
He did. As he was driving to work,
Didn't have
he
the
was like,
time.
Can you guys fix this, please?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like anybody who saw that he ripped his gate off with his bare hands, it's gonna show up at his house. Like
Right?
I did this to steel. Imagine what I can do to human flesh.
Right? I mean,
Yeah,
it'll
it's-
destroy you.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
it's just crazy.
Good thing he's a
man.
nice guy.
Right.
That's true. There was other news and some Shia LaBeouf news, so we'll just bam.
I missed it
supposed to-
again.
Okay, bam.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to be in Olivia Wilde's new thriller movie that she's doing, but apparently scheduling conflicts have reared their ugly head as again, or she realized he might be slightly crazy, and has been replaced by Harry Styles.
Stuff can be two things.
So
Hey,
that's
it can't
also
be two
true.
things.
And the moment that she might have realized that there could have been a problem is there was a charity table read for Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and Shia LaBeouf showed up shirtless and smoking a joint for the virtual table read.
Was he supposed to be in character? It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
I
Maybe.
don't know, but I mean, isn't he always in
Is he
character?
even in that movie?
no,
No,
he's not. But like,
I thought he
Sean-
was. I was gonna say I thought he was acting like Sean Penn in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen covers of Sean Penn, like like the surfer type. Hi,
Hey, Mayor.
Mayor.
Hey, Mayor.
Maybe he's going for that type.
Yeah.
I know Sean Penn thought it was hilarious.
yeah. You've got Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Morgan Freeman, Julia Roberts, Matthew McConaughey, Ray Liotta, and Jimmy Kimmel, and Sean Penn. So yeah,
Sean Penn is not the best role model.
yeah. So he said for the entirety of the table read, LaBeouf adopted Spicoli's trademarked low-pitched, confused stoner voice, and for a period he goes shirtless and puts on a pair of neon sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Speaking
lost
of
himself
neat-
in the park.
Speaking of neon sunglasses, Gooder is running a super clearance sale on a bunch of sunglasses right now. Should you be so inclined?
Those look really awesome when we were looking at them the other day.
Yeah, I was. I need a good. So I'm afraid to wear them because they're cool, and I don't want to like mess them up. I'm really tough on. I'm tough on sunglasses.
You can get the other Batman ones.
That's true.
You just need 2 pair of everything.
That's true. Gooder GOODR.com did for Batman Day. They did a special release pair of sunglasses that are Batman themed. So they are pretty awesome. There's one that is very pow bang kapow. And then there's one that looks like the suit in gray and black with yellow accents. So they're pretty awesome. So yeah, Shia LaBeouf, still crazy, but you know what? Bam. He's welcome to join us anytime he wants. Someone else who'd be welcome to join us, but probably never will, is William Shatner. Shatner has waded into the U.S. Space Force debate. He says, "Why are you using the rank of colonel when you should be using the rank of a captain if you're on a ship?" I agree with this.
Point.
He knows this one on TV.
That's true. So there is an actual amendment sitting in the House of Representatives right now, part of the 2021 National Defense Authorization Act, which is appropriately nicknamed the Starfleet Amendment.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, if anything cool could come out of this, that's it.
Yep. So Texas Representative Dan Crenshaw, who's a former Navy SEAL, by the way, and total just awesome hero dude. He's the one who introduced the amendment late July that would replace the current designation of colonel in the U.S. Space Force with captain. He says if it hasn't passed by this point, the proposal needs to be supported by Senate to become law. I do not see how this doesn't pass.
Did you see Crenshaw has like a ad out too that's like it looks like a superhero actioning, like there's an explosion in the background, I think.
Is it a slow-mo explosion walk?
So, and it's like him, he's front and center, and then it has like his team, whoever his team is.
Nice.
Huh.
Here, like
We need to make one of those for us.
Oh yeah. Slow-mo explosion walk. He's a Texas Republican I can actually get behind, being a former SEAL and everything. And he's pretty, obviously with his support of the military and stuff like that. He has leaned into some pop culture-ish type things on more than one occasion. He seems to be more in touch with what his electorate probably is than some people. Also in space, they may not be able to do U.S. Space Force because Elon Musk wants to put 1,000 billion quadrillion satellites in there because he wants to give you internet no matter where you are. SpaceX, yes, we need it everywhere. I need SpaceX internet everywhere. Starlink is their basically their ISP, their internet provider, whatever it is.
I think he means well, but we're already totally have all of this trash and stuff all over our planet. Now we're gonna litter it in space too.
Space trash.
Oh,
I mean, there's already
let's
a lot.
not make a mistake. There's already so much stuff up there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You want to add
what he's gonna do you won't even notice it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we
I think
go.
it's gonna take a lot of satellites to give the whole entire world everywhere.
Oh, for sure, but I mean, literally, the amount
They're
of
tiny.
space junk up there with them going up and coming down, it's insane. And the thing is, it's not just us; it's every nation.
Well, I know. I'm not saying I'm not blaming America for it. I mean, in general,
I am.
It just seems like a lot.
So, to that point, some people complained about when they were taking photographs of some of the latest, asteroids or whatever it was, that people's photographs, their time-lapse photographs, were ruined because it was nothing but satellite streaks going through. So there's already 700 of them up there right now. Internal testing shows 100 megabits per second. What does that mean? That means several Netflix streams at once. That's the best analog that you've got there.
I'm just saying, if we are gonna clutter it up some more, we need to do what Tony Stark wanted and just build a giant shield around the Earth.
I
I mean, I can
believe
get behind
that's
that
how
too.
Ultron started.
No,
I
it
mean-
definitely ended well for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, we can learn from his mistakes.
We could also
So-
just, put a, Terminator stuff in motion by doing that.
Skynet, why not? Let's do it.
True.
I mean,
Turn over
Skynet-
control of the missiles.
Essentially, that's what he's doing without the missiles. I mean, let's be real.
I mean, here's the thing: are these things powered by nuclear power like some satellites are?
What happens if Elon Musk goes crazy and then he has control of all of our internet?
He becomes
Yeah.
Doctor Evil. If. I
I'm
mean,
just
that's
saying more crazy.
so. Funnily
Yeah.
enough, the way that these satellites communicate with each other's, they are informally known as space lasers. So, yes, it is a.
The flamethrower, like he's already done some questionable things. I'm just saying maybe
That flamethrower is cool, though. You got to admit.
Yeah, it is.
it's cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm just saying that maybe it could be a red flag that we don't want him in charge of our internet.
Yeah, I think
I'm
if
not so much
anything,
worried about him being in charge of the internet.
yeah, I think that'll be more of the wild, wild west of the internet. Like,
Against
No.
us is all I'm saying. You've already made a reference to Skynet. Like maybe we don't give him so much power.
So Amir pointed out that there was an Angry Beavers episode where they built a shield around the world and caused the next ice age. Elon Musk has created commercially available flamethrowers. Obviously, he has planned for every eventuality.
you may not be wrong. Ice Age solution. Elon Musk gets rich.
Can I just say, Amir, I love that you referenced the Angry Beavers. I loved that show growing up.
That's great.
Yeah. By the way, this article. Hold on. This article is from this month. Thursday launched a record-breaking milestone. SpaceX had launched 180 satellites in 1 month.
Oh my.
Space trash.
I'm just saying. It's just so.
Well,
Do
and
they
the
have
good
space
part of
recycling?
could there be space recycling? Maybe. The good thing about SpaceX is their stuff's all reusable. Like that's
Mhm.
so it's coming back down.
Okay.
Like it's not. It's they're not littering per se.
Okay. That makes
Now,
me feel
granted, a lot of that stuff, though, I mean, for the most
It'll-
part, that's his proprietary stuff, unless it's with NASA, and so other countries they don't have that, and so it is what it is. But
Yes, to make it economically viable, he says he really needs about 1,000 satellites, is what he said in 2019. So they really only need about 300 more satellites to really do a more public beta test. Like, dude, I'll be first in line. Like,
do we have any idea how big the satellites are? Just curious.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen one deployed. We'll have to look. Like the image in the article is just a stock image. So, but here's the I mean, brings up a good point. What about the car that you launched into space?
I mean,
Here's
that's
the
not really
thing.
his fault. He put a driver behind the wheel. That guy could turn around anytime.
What if
Unless his name is Bernie.
then they shoot Tom Cruise up into space? He comes back with the car
He recovers the Tesla.
It recovers the Tesla.
on his way back. He's just like, let me grab this too from my friend.
Someday
There you
our
go.
children's children will watch a movie, and that is the plot.
There
And
you
Tom
go.
Cruise will still only be 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll freeze him between now and then.
Yep. Lazarus pit.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
yeah, so is SpaceX continues to build this. They have sought government permission to put a total of 42,000 satellites in orbit.
That's crazy.
And
I
if you
just
think-
wonder how big they are, because some of the amateur satellites that I've talked to, they're small. I mean, they're like maybe 12 by 12 max.
Yeah. In order to do this type of stuff or whatever, like I don't think they would need to be huge, but I don't know that they're going to be that small either. But here's the thing: at some point, are we going towards Spaceballs with a giant vacuum in space? Like, is that what's happening?
I mean,
So-
that would be the best, yeah.
Amir, you must have missed our Fast and Furious in space conversation. We had that right before you showed up.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably does make more sense because they are
True.
like, cars and stuff. Assuming
It's true.
that they don't blow up the Tesla somehow, trying to get it back.
I just need somebody to be at ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous
Ludicrous
speed. That's true. I mean, here's the thing.
Oh,
I'm really not concerned or interested that much until somebody puts a Winnebago in space. I'm just saying. Like, you put a Winnebago in space, I'm in.
Then you get Marv.
Like,
then you get, you know.
that's true.
Yeah.
mhm.
Pizza
Yeah.
the Hut.
Yep. Pizza the Hut. That's right.
Pizza.
And then
the
we
Hut.
get and then we get to the franchise wars. Like, this is like everything that we've seen, all of these great movies that we're referencing is actually our future. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, we just
Like,
that
we
just
know
proves we're in the Matrix. You know?
At that point, yeah, I'm convinced that there are just a bunch of time travelers in Hollywood. Be like, dude, they don't even like. They think this is so ridiculous now. Just wait, I've seen it happen.
So,
Yeah.
would that be considered recycled content?
Nice.
Nicely
Uh,
played.
I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna leave it right there. We are just going to leave it right there. Okay, there's 19 articles about Scott Pilgrim, so we're gonna wait before we talk about that. Let's dig into some Marvel stuff. Stuff that we know has happened in the world of Marvel.
Not. No.
What? Captain Marvel?
I said
She
it's
is also-
Marvel.
No, we're gonna wait because we're gonna need probably hour and a half.
It's going to take 5 seconds for me to say, "Oh my goodness, the Scott Pilgrim game is coming back. It's the best
Yeah.
thing ever. Everybody be happy," and I'll be done.
And
Okay,
at
we'll
this
just
point,
hang on to that because you're going
at
to
this
need to
point, we
restage.
were I just thought we were all gonna leave and just Sam was gonna take like the last hour of the show.
We're gonna do the solo thing. How do you do that?
There it is.
I almost did that week that we didn't have the episode. I almost like streamed the demo because that's all I can play right now, and
Nice.
didn't get a chance.
All right, hold on to that passion, Sam. We are talking about Marvel. Black Widow has been delayed again until summer of 2021. I
Yeah.
believe.
I read maybe it was this article that like, this is the first time we haven't had a Marvel movie.
In 2 years, it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, you kind of just get to expect it that at some point this year you're going to get some kind of Marvel movie.
In the
Really?
interesting, Nick has said he's up to shenanigans of some kind.
Yeah, I got to laughing because the banner changed on the agenda,
Oh, did it
And I-
really?
and I don't know how to move it over.
Oh, are you talking about the Prince of Persia banner?
Yeah. I need to put it in the chat so everybody in the world can see that. That's awesome.
You should be able to right click and download. Can we download or paste it into something?
You,
I don't
I
know.
think if you get a link,
Image options.
I've
I'm
done
sure
it
somebody can deal with it.
but I can't.
I'm glad you like it.
It's awesome. So,
What's
Marvel's
up, Church?
delayed- Church with a blank message.
Hey, Blank Church.
He's a man
Blank.
of mystery.
He is.
Man, a few words. The interesting article I was talking about to Hannah's point about there not being a Marvel movie in so long is that because there hasn't been one and there's not going to be one for several months at this point. If something were to happen to like Wonder Woman and stuff like that at the end of the year, that some theaters are in serious trouble.
Mhm.
Like theaters are going to close. And to me, I always thought about theaters, movies. Yes, there are some big movies and stuff like that, and that's great. I never put together that they are so reliant on one franchise to actually make it through. Oh well.
Hi.
So sorry, Phil, we can't see the GIF. Not in this chat. So yeah, I mean, were we surprised? I mean, did you think it was going to go Disney Plus, or did you think it was just going to keep getting delayed?
I
thought it was going to keep getting delayed. Honestly, I'm even surprised that they've come out and said Scarlet Witch or the WandaVision. I'm really surprised that's supposed to be on track.
I think it may have already, a lot of it might have already been done because
It's
Falcon
true.
got pushed, but we don't know how much. Or not Winter Soldier, Falcon. I think they might have had to actually have go out into the world. But I bet there's a lot of graphics and different effects that they can use for Scarlet.
There it
Nice.
is. I couldn't get it to work.
Prince of Persia. Prince of Cav. Sure.
Cav of Persia.
Sure.
Of Persia.
Yeah. Here's okay. Since we're talking about WandaVision, all right. Give me your actual opinion on the WandaVision trailer.
Okay,
I
it's weird,
don't get it.
but I liked it. It made me curious. I liked the throwbacks, like their various costumes from like comics and stuff. My take on it is just Scarlet Witch, at least in the comics, is like super, super powerful, and she has like completely changed the world before. After when she's gotten a little crazy. So my thought is it's just she's having a mental break, and she can't deal with some stuff, and she wants him back, and she's just manipulating some stuff, and that's why you see all of those different versions.
That would lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness,
Right.
especially if she's creating all of these things. I'm with you. Like I watched it, and I'm just like, I don't. And I was talking to Barry about this too. I don't know really what to think of it. Like, it doesn't get me really excited about it. It's weird, but I also had the same thought as you. Is like, there is a snow globe at the end of season 1 moment, like where you realize just how dark and stuff. Like this whole sitcom or whatever. Like, I think that moment at the end when you realize how dark and twisted it is because it's been so happy and cheery in some points. I think that lends gravitas to that moment that, wow, she's really messed up.
Well, and when I'm looking at covers too, and this was for his like solo run for a little bit, but there are some covers that show like him, and it looks like him and his family in like a suburban type picture perfect-esque type cover artwork. So I think they may have been kind of drawing off of that with the Leave It to Beaver print. Maybe that's what I took from it.
I still don't know what it is.
Yeah. All I know is that she somehow manipulated everything, reality enough to suddenly they had kids in the comics. So very powerful children.
Yeah.
So I feel like she can kind of do whatever. If anyone's like the multiverse and Strange has to get involved, it's probably going to be her. Maybe she releases something too. And
I think the part that gets me is I need more of why are they all of a sudden in like the 50s, you know?
See, I feel like she's maybe creating different versions.
Maybe, but like in the trailer, they look like they're confused when they're being questioned by that neighbor.
Well, have you ever? They were brats, but they're part of the Young Avengers too. So I'm kind of hoping that they come into existence in the MCU. But my take of it was, like kind of like in the Matrix, where sometimes you're in the Matrix. Well, I guess everyone knew after a while. But, I mean, so like I think they have those moments of like, wait, something's not right, but I don't know why it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe when she figures out that other people are catching on, she changes it all over again. And so then
maybe
something else different, just trying to keep her reality alive.
Well, I like that it might tie into Doctor Strange because that would make some sense.
I don't think it's a might. I think I think that's confirmed
from a multiverse standpoint. Yeah. It makes sense. But then at the end of it, the lady's like, "Are you dead? Or am I dead?" And he goes, "No, why would you think that?" She says, "Because you are." So it makes me, is some of that also Thanos' Infinity Stone related stuff going on? I don't know.
Well, and he has he was, I don't know how it, at the end of Endgame, I don't remember how it, but he was the protector of the time stone, reality stone.
Right.
So I could see him having to get involved in it. But it might be something where she is trying to make it seem like he's alive. And then the reality, when it seeps through, it's like, no, actually, you're dead. And he's like, what? Like,
yeah.
People are in coma.
Because you would think if they destroyed all the Infinity Stones, then he would still be dead,
Unless something happened in Endgame. They had that whole scene about them trying to detach him from the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
And with him being, robot, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like you could just maybe build them again.
Because
That's
didn't
the place
they
to
put
go.
they did they
You know,
put
like
the
if
stones back? Did
No,
they put
I
the
thought
stones back?
I
Or
thought
they
they
destroyed
confirmed
them.
that they destroyed them.
I thought they put them back.
I thought they
I thought
put them
that-
back because that's why Cap originally had to go back in time.
You're right.
To put it
You're
back
right.
where he
That
found
was
it.
that was the thing. Yeah.
But then,
see, I thought that
technically,
later
Thanos
there was
destroyed
some. I thought there was some article that we referenced a few months back that said that they destroyed all of
I
them.
think that's a comic. I think that's a comic run.
Okay.
That did that.
Whatever the case,
Yeah.
it makes you ask a lot of questions, and I think that's what they were trying to do.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.
Thank you, Arsenio.
Oh, that was Ron. What was his name? The guy that used to run around Jeff Foxworthy. I can't think of it. Ron
I thought
White.
things that make you go was Arsenio.
It may have been, but I was in my
Yeah.
head referencing Ron White
Ron White.
or whatever his name is. I don't know.
I went Arsenio.
Whoever.
We are getting another Disney Plus series, something that was just confirmed. Samuel L. Jackson is getting his own Disney Plus series as Marvel's Nick Fury.
You think they're gonna run first?
Oh, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. I don't know if Maria Hill is going to be there. If we're going to get Kobe Smulders, I don't know what she's doing right now other than making Robin Sparkles videos. Here's the thing, is a perfectly legitimate career path in my mind.
Would it be
So-
cool if you get Coulson again too? Now that Shield is done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
So we
take on what he's been doing all this in-game time.
So yeah, there really is no. I mean, there's nothing about the show. We don't know when it is.
We don't need to.
It's Samuel L. Jackson. He's gonna be in there. He's just like, hold on to your butts. Here we go.
I hope there's gonna be
And we're
maybe
sold.
some
Yeah.
scrolls involved.
Could be some
Yeah.
scrolls. Could be that. I mean, and here's the thing: like the trailer could literally just be Nick Fury saying, "Hold on to your butts," and that's the only trailer they would ever have to release, and it would probably be the greatest debut on Disney Plus ever.
If he's just saying catchphrases. I'm tired of these mother effing scrolls on this mother effing planet.
So all,
Yeah,
all
no
it is,
notes.
yeah, that's what it is. Freaking scrolls. You freaking
Some
scrolls.
of them were good. We found that out
That is true.
with Captain Marvel.
That is true. There
That's
are
another thing. It could have been it could be before, not present time. It could be in the 90s or whatever.
True.
that would be interesting. To me, that would just make it so much more expensive. Just having to do the de-aging. Like, I want old cranky Nick Fury.
Yeah,
Like, I want him living in a cabin in the woods, like shooting squirrels, and he has a raccoon problem, and like he solves
Rocket?
things. He solves things using alien technology. Like he goes to a small town, there's some bad people, they're doing drugs. Maybe there's a meth lab, and instead of calling the police, he takes things into his own hands and he solves things using alien technology. There's your show.
that's kind of like Eureka.
You're
Trademark
welcome,
Kevin.
Disney.
You're welcome. There it is. Small town Nick Fury solving small towns with
I hope that
Back up that truck.
the Flerken is with him.
yes, and the Flurkin.
Flerken is his crime fighting partner.
Yeah.
Of course.
Where'd mine go?
They've come to an
Oh, there
arrangement.
she is.
Okay, you looked really high as to where your Flurkin was. Like at any moment, that thing is going to pounce on your head from what seems like a very high.
There's
Hi.
a set of cabinets, shelves,
Bookcase.
bookcase next to him, and she likes to sit up at the very, very, very top and loom.
Yeah.
And look at you judgingly.
So when we
Basically.
built the bookcase, we built it upside down.
I built it.
And I know what you're thinking. How can you build it upside down? Well, on the bottom, there's a tiny, tiny little gap between the floor and the bottom shelf. And she likes to lay on top of that and rub up against the bottom, which is on the top.
I know what you're saying, Amanda. Why didn't you just flip the bookcase and then it would be fine? But I messed up in like the middle shelf too. So no matter what, either way, there's a shelf that is turned the opposite that doesn't have the finish on it.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
I did this all by myself, guys, and I was so excited that I built it or put it together by myself. And then I did all of the work of like pushing it up against the wall, and then I found out that I'd messed up, and I was like, I'm not taking this apart. So for like 5 years, we've just had a mess.
Clearly, you were under the cat's control the entire time.
Cats love it. They think it's the best.
No. All right, moving on to let's move into some. I guess you've got. Let's move into some DC. Supergirl done after 6 seasons.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
She had a baby in real life.
did
Hmm.
not a Kryptonian as far as we know.
As far as we know.
So, I mean, here's the thing. This is the only thing that disappoints me about this is, and I think part of this may have been predicated by the Ruby Rose exit of with Kate Kane and whatever on Batwoman, is they were absolutely hello, how are you?
Hi.
That's a sweet gif right there, a sweet icon right there. So they were really setting up a world's finest thing with Supergirl and Batwoman. They really were. I mean, they said the words "world's finest," and I think when that whole thing fell apart, like Supergirl has always been the show I think that has. I don't want to say struggled to find its audience, but it's not the one I get excited about. Like Legends is the weird one, is the funky show. It may be the one that outlasts them all. Like it really is. I mean, it's the time traveling, whatever.
Goes.
So
It's the American Doctor Who.
Pretty much.
yeah, I mean,
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
it really is.
Superpowers.
Time traveling superheroes. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, so if you take that and like the only Supergirl episodes that I've watched were the crossover ones, and I don't have a problem with the character per se. Or anything like that, but to me, it has never felt like a CW show, and maybe that's because it started on CBS.
I think.
And so, even though it's the same showrunners and whatnot, it's to me, it's rough. But I don't know if maybe she will come back for crossover episodes or something like that. That would be cool.
Maybe she'll appear in a couple of the Superman ones.
True.
Maybe.
Or something.
I wonder if you have a too many super people like
Right. And I
thing.
wonder if, Arrow's over, if maybe some of the other actors from the other show were just like, you know what, now might be a good time too.
Nice.
Mhm.
Thanks. We think it's pretty lit as well. So,
You're pretty lit.
you're pretty, yeah.
In a like a you're awesome way, not in a like a you're
You're breathtaking. That's right. So
I think if you say you've got too many superheroes, I think you've got too small a world. I mean, technically Flash can solve, 1,000 crimes at once, but pretty much everybody else is very limited in scope. And I think that if you say you've got too many superheroes, you're really just talking about your programming budget and not the actual world that you've got the superheroes in.
And that could be it. With everything going on right now, maybe CW is thinking they need to trim some stuff.
Boo earns.
They have so many superhero shows.
I mean,
Maybe
we are
just
getting.
have a good time.
I mean, we're getting Superman and Lois, which
Yeah.
to me like is something I I'll give that show a shot for sure. You've got, I don't know what that tone's going to be. Flash is what it's going to be, but Supergirl has established this group of characters, Martian Manhunter and all this other stuff that could conceivably show up anywhere at any time.
Mhm.
And so it would not surprise me if she shows up occasionally, maybe for the crossover episodes and things like that. But so they're going to do a 20 episode final season. I do like the fact that they announced it now, so they can build the 20 episode final season to some sort of end versus like they do this last season and then boom, it's just gone and you don't really know. I mean, for all we know, that finale may be a crossover, maybe part of a crossover. If they end up doing a crossover this year, that's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, social distancing, that might be a little difficult.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll keep it out and keep an eye out and see.
She could even show up in the Flash every now and then too, because they're like best friends.
Now that they've combined the worlds to Earth Prime and everything, absolutely. I mean, this could be a like I said, you know, one
Yeah.
or two episodes a year. You show up on Flash or whatever. Like that'd be a pretty cool gig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, not gonna say we called it, but we called it. DC today. We just called it. DC announced the evolution of DC Universe into DC Universe Infinite, a premium comic book service set to launch January 21st, 2021, with more than 24,000 comic books at launch. DC Universe Infinite subscribers will also encounter digital first comics, exclusive access to DC fan events, as well as a steady stream of recent release comics 6 months after the physical versions hit store shelves. It's launching in the US first and will expand globally summer 2021. Not going to say we called it, but we called it.
This is their Marvel Universe or Marvel Unlimited, right? That's what Marvel's is called.
Basically, yeah.
Good. Yes, this is what I wanted.
I need to get. I'm realizing now I need to get an iPad or a was it a Kindle Fire that does the color screen? One of the two. I need a tablet of some kind because reading them on my phone's not quite the same.
The worst.
I've done it when necessary, but it is a lot easier on a tablet.
Mhm.
If you do it too long, it hurts.
It's always like I can read on my phone, but it's just because of the comic panels. Like there's a lot of squishing and moving around to try to get to all the different panels of one page.
Right. I want to
It's
be
fun to
able to
watch.
look at it and swipe. Look at it and swipe. What was that, Sam?
It's my
What was
impression
that?
of her rearranging the panels.
No. I need the sounds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if you are a member, of DC Universe right now, you're going to get you should get a voucher in your email somewhere, $25 off. This for annual. If you're a monthly subscriber, it'll be a $10 voucher. It will be $7.99 a month, or $74.99 a year, which breaks down to $6.25 a month. And so, it's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be for a lot of people, who want, like we've talked about, man, like I don't really like Comixology that much. And I would really just like because I'm so far behind in most stuff anyways, if it comes out 6 months later, like I'm still not going to get to it for a year. Right. And so having that there is going to be pretty awesome. So all of the other content will move over to HBO Max, like Young Justice, Titans, Doom Patrol, Stargirl. HBO Max has ordered a 3rd season of Harley Quinn. So that everything's going to move over there. But yeah, it's going to be. I'm excited about this because there are so many DC runs, just like there's so many great Marvel runs. There's so many DC runs that are really good. That if you've never read Nightfall or any of that stuff, you're gonna be able to go back to that and go back to even some of those older runs. Like I want to go back to like the old like really crazy Technicolor Batmans, like. Back when the comics code was a thing and they couldn't really talk about anything serious, so it just got ridiculous. Batman in his rainbow costumes or whatever. Like, I want to get back to that kind of stuff because that's always a fun read. So
I think the apps are really good if you're new to comics, or like I said, if you're behind, you don't really know where to start, because you can just pick it. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can go search for something else, or if you want to do a deep dive or something like that, and it's only like. What $7.99
$7.99
versus when you go to a comic store and you got to buy all these and then you might not like them if you don't know. But support your local comics too.
So the thing is that the apps are typically much better at is when you're doing a run like a Nightfall or any of the stuff, like if you're jumping between series like Batman, a Detective, and Shadow of the Bat and whatever, like it takes you through a connected story. Which is so hard to do if you're buying the actual books, unless you like literally have a list of what you need. So that's gonna be pretty cool. One thing that will not be coming to that, as we talked about this months ago, was they're talking about yet another DC Comics reboot. They were talking about DC 5G. DC 5G is dead, according to Jim Lee.
Gotcha.
So there will be no comics reboot. There was some discussion early on about where they were going to retire some of the primary characters and there were going to be newer versions of them and things like that. that ain't happening. Too many shakeups at DC. And it's Ken does at you.
I jumped down.
I told you.
Okay.
He had a reason to be looking up that high.
That's true. I mean, that cat came out of nowhere like a spider monkey. Just yep. So yeah, so we've got that going on. So we won't have to worry about having to reboot DC for the 97th time. More DC delays. Wonder Woman's happening at Christmas now instead of whatever date it was supposed to be at this point. I don't even know. So Wonder Woman 1984 is now a Christmas release right next to Tom Cruise, and Top Gun is where it's currently sitting, I do believe.
I kind of wish they would just go ahead and push it to next year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what's going to happen anyways.
I agree that is likely what I think is to happen as well. Something else that is rumored that has happened, still a rumor, but a lot of confirmation, is that Henry Cavill has signed a new deal for Superman, 3 movies plus appearances.
That's awesome. We were wanting that too.
To Phil's point, feels like the original release date was actually 1984 at this point. You are not wrong. You are not wrong, Phil.
It's been a very, very long time.
You are not wrong. So they're talking about we will see more Henry Cavill, more movies, whether that's going to be where he's going to show up. Maybe it's, Shazam and the Fury of the Gods, or maybe, he had said that he's not shooting anything new for Snyder Cut. So that tells me there's probably a lot of stuff that they cut out originally. What's happening over there?
Sorry, other cat just ran across my.
Oh, no, I was talking about the giant tail that was about to take out Sam. So 3 more films plus cameos. They're saying probably 5 or 6 movies. You figure you'll see him in Black Adam at some point. Other than that, DC stuff we got coming up. Obviously, we got Suicide Squad. We got the Batman, Black Adam. The Flash until 2022. November 2022 is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. December 2022, Aquaman 2. And who knows what else and when. So, speaking of Black Adam, last night they announced who Hawkman is going to be, and this is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Aldous Hodge is going to be Black Adam, or not Black Adam. He's going to be Hawkman. Sorry, he's going to. So he's somebody you will probably recognize his face.
Artisan.
Yes. Help me. What was that show called?
Leverage.
Thank you. I've been trying to remember that for the past half hour, knowing that this was coming up, and it wasn't working.
It was one of those shows that was. I mean, it was so good, but it was like I liked all of the characters, but the main character.
Yeah.
I didn't care about him, but I loved Hardison and all the other characters.
Yep. So Aldous Hodge is going to be Hawkman. So this is going to be awesome. I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. So, apparently, this is from who tweeted this? The Rock tweeted this. He says, "I called Aldous personally as I wanted to surprise him that he got the role. It wound up being one of the greatest conversations I've ever had." This is how it went. Aldous, hello. The Rock, hello. I'd like to speak to Aldous. Aldous, who is this? The Rock, this is Dwayne Johnson. Long pause. Aldous, whoever this is, stop playing on my phone. The Rock, this is Dwayne. Is this Aldous? Longer pause. This blank ain't funny. I said stop playing on my effing phone. The Rock, Aldous, this is DJ. I just called to say thank you so much for sending in your audition. It was great. I really appreciate the efforts you made. I just want to say thanks and best of luck in all you do. And one more thing, welcome to Black Adam. Longest pause. Aldous, I'm sorry. You have to hold on for a second. He puts the phone down and walks away, and all I hear is inaudible yells. Aldous, DJ, blank. At this point, he is laughing. Yeah, Rock is laughing. The Rock, are you okay? You're going to crush this role. We went on to have an awesome conversation full of gratitude, love, and motivation. Can't wait to work with this very talented brother, the perfect Hawkman. Let's get to work.
That is awesome.
He's great.
I feel like anyone, if you get a call from The Rock, that's probably going to be a response like, "This is not really good. Like, stop playing."
How do you not FaceTime him to show him who it is? How do you not
That's a good
FaceTime or Zoom call him?
Yeah.
I'd have been like, "Do you have confirmation? Give me
Yes.
proof, please."
Yeah.
Who was he? Phil in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
He
It's
said
so long.
he said that he is a diehard.
Wasn't he like a tech guy or something?
Probably.
I think he
Maybe
was.
I'm
I
mixing
think.
up his character with Leverage.
Are you typecasting him?
Was Die Hard with a Vengeance the one with Timothy Oliphant?
No, that was Live Free or Die Hard.
Okay, is Die Hard with a Vengeance with Sam Jackson?
Yes.
Ah.
Which will be, he'll make other references in his Nick Fury, whatever. Something about pouring water in gallons of buckets and something.
Yes.
Like,
Gosh, this movie was so long ago.
and there'll be only 3 people who will understand it.
Let's be
My
alive.
favorite part of that movie. My favorite
God,
part of
it's
that
been
movie
a
is when he's like,
movie.
"Why you keep calling me Jesus?" That's what his name is, right? He said, "Hey Zeus." No, he didn't say "Hey Zeus." He said, "Hey Zeus."
Was
I think
he-
I think Phil's on the IMDb's. He says it was his first credited role. He was also an episode of Buffy.
I see him on that. He must have been a kid, like maybe one of the kids in the school, if I remember. Die Hard
Oh,
with
that's
the Vengeance.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, just given the age, unless
He
he's
was-
a lot older than he looks.
He was not in the West Wing, I can tell you that. But you know who is in the West Wing? John Diggle himself, David Ramsey's in the West Wing. Season 7, towards the end, he's heading up the transition or the get out the vote thing or whatever on election day. I was like,
I love his
that's
voice.
Diggle, and he's half the size of what who Diggle is. Like, so, yeah. Oh man, this.
Maybe we need to rewatch all the Die Hard movies.
Oh, we do, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
believe that is it, guys. We are an hour in, and we haven't even gotten into gaming yet. Like we are.
I'm just
Sam,
thinking
so
about
take
much.
it away.
I'm thinking about Die Hard now. Like I remember making my best friend go with me to see Die Hard with a Vengeance. It was 1995, so we definitely probably should not have been seeing that movie, but I don't care. I was so excited for it.
You turned out
That was
okay.
good.
It's all good.
Not okay. It was just more of that fun, movie time.
Peak
where-
90s. Like we're
Yeah.
not gonna. Yeah. What I hope is something also just like at that peak 90s level, right? The Joe Exotic series, Diglett, nice. The Joe Exotic series starring
Oh,
Nicolas
God.
Cage has found its home on Amazon.
That doesn't surprise me.
I am excited about this. Says it's
I-
not based on the Netflix documentary series, but rather on a Texas Monthly article, Joe Exotic: A Dark Journey into the World of a Man Gone Wild. So, yep, Amazon for development. It's going to be awesome.
I have not seen Tiger King, and I don't have any desire to, but I
Oh,
can
you have to. It's a train
I can-
wreck.
perfectly picture Nick Cage in that type of role.
I mean,
Yeah.
So,
here's the thing: if you decide to watch Tiger King, just know that it's an absolute train wreck, and you won't be able to stop watching it. It is utterly heartbreaking because
I
you're
know,
basically
that's why I
watching
don't-
somebody's life unravel.
That's why I
on
don't
camera.
want to see it.
Yeah, why would anybody want to watch that?
Watch
I
it.
watched it, and I was totally in that place of I don't want to watch this because of everything I just said, and I still am disappointed that I allowed myself to watch it. But I do
Like-
now get the references, so that does kind of help a little bit, you know.
I understood that reference.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why, like, just knowing you're basically watching this guy's life slowly fall apart, or quickly, I don't know, is why I can't get behind the Dancing with the Stars with Karen Bass. I'm like, ugh, she
Yeah.
shouldn't be there. But
She's a
Sure.
murderer.
I'm like,
I know nothing
she
else.
forged her husband's
Except
death
for that.
certificate.
I'm like,
And it's
ugh,
got it must be a statute of limitations or something.
something.
Right.
I'm like, you guys not like, you got to pick better people.
It's 2020. There, everybody else is in quarantine.
True, and maybe she won't stay on long. She might not be one of them.
Well, she was in the bottom. Apparently, she's in the bottom 2 the first week and got saved. I imagine she's going to last one more week.
Yeah, they always. I don't watch that show a lot, but when I do, like, there's always like a couple of people in the cast that you just know are there just to try to get grab people, and they're not gonna make it far.
Yeah.
So, except for Bobby Bones,
Did she come out to Eye of the Tiger?
I
think
do
she
not.
did.
Aw.
I
Did
think
she?
she danced to it. I think I saw a headline that said she danced to it.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's
I don't watch the
Oh.
show, so I
Terrible.
don't know.
I don't know. We'll have the video up for next week. We'll watch
we don't
that.
want that.
Or maybe she
All right.
came out to staying alive.
All right. we
Just
have
painful.
an absolute truckload of gaming news to get into. So let's get into some of this. The NVIDIA 3080 and 3090 launches were awful. 3090 less than 3080, but just absolute chaos and shenanigans, and people are angry at the bots. This is Skynet. They're starting with getting our video cards. Next, they're coming for our food. Then after that came the PlayStation 5 pre-orders. Somebody broke the embargo, went early, caused chaos and shenanigans aplenty all over the internet. Stuff sold out super fast. And then for some people who did get pre-orders, they got a message that said, well, it might not get one on release date. So all these bad things have happened. Microsoft comes out with their reassuring hand and says, don't worry, we've got this. We know how to do a pre-order. We know how to do a product launch. Don't worry. When we do pre-orders for the Xbox Series X and the Series S, it's fine. Don't sweat it. Chaos ensues. Chaos ensues when those things go. It becomes absolute craziness. Amazon doesn't launch at the launch time. Neither does Best Buy. Walmart goes, promptly sells out. Microsoft goes, and the internet takes down their website. Microsoft, who has unlimited server capacity and power, their website lasted
Apparently, they're not
0.3
Palpatine.
0.3 seconds. Their website is not just slow, dead. Just
We need more
unavailable. More power. They need Scotty. So
They need Palpatine because he has unlimited power. He even says it.
true. That's true. And so we
So
get
what?
all these things
When
going
he sends
on.
Mace Windu out the window. See, I tied it all together.
Window
there.
out the window.
Oh.
So then somebody figures out that if you go to Xbox.com instead of the Microsoft pre-order page, it starts working a little bit better. And then that slowly disintegrates in front of you. And then, so about an hour later, Amazon and Best Buy go. Amazon sells out in about 3 seconds. Best Buy sells out pretty quickly thereafter. And then Best Buy restocks about another half hour, maybe another hour later. They get more. I don't know how. Well, I think they were kind of staging it, I guess, to not crush their
Okay.
website to death. I don't know that Sam's ever put their pre-order up. Neither did Costco. But yeah, like it's insane. So you're like, okay, people are like, okay, I got through on Amazon. I got whatever. Amazon was the easiest of all of them. I got through on Amazon. Great. Woo, I got my Xbox. Until you get an email last night that says, well, you might not have one on launch day. And people don't know if it's a capacity problem, like they don't have the inventory, or if it's we know that shipping is screwed up all over the country right now. You might not get one because shipping may be delayed or whatever. They said they're trying to secure more inventory, so one would believe it is the first of the two. But yeah, so chaos, shenanigans, and then Amazon. So, yep, I was this close to getting a NVIDIA card too. Got to the order screen, hit place order no less than 100 times. Didn't work. There's another cat. So,
What is it? Do you think it's just because people are at home and they were ready? I mean,
Do you think it's the same cat?
is that I mean, that's a lot of stuff to like just crash and burn like that.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I'm not into like building
Phil, you're
computers
right.
and stuff like you guys are. So maybe I'm just not in the know, but I've never known that to happen before for like a.
and here's the
a
thing, like
car.
when the cards initially went up, NVIDIA, Best Buy, Newegg completely crashed. Amazon never really got stock. I mean, it is a paradigm shifting card for sure. Like it's something pretty special. And it didn't have the usual NVIDIA obscene price for that level of performance. Like NVIDIA is really trying to undercut AMD on this. And there are supply issues for sure. I've been trying to go to EVGA directly through their shop and have been unsuccessful. But one of the funny things is the product director for EVGA, his name's Jacob or something like that. He's active on Twitter. And so he's been tweeting people like, hey, we're about to get a restock. Stuff's about to get, like, he's been letting people know when stuff was going to happen. And then somebody posted a meme of the State Farm commercial where, like, that guy's talking to somebody. It's 3 a.m. and his wife comes down. She's like, who are you talking to? He's like, it's Jake from EVGA. Like, and so, this is going to be the thing. Like, this card is some people have been successful, some have not. I was the closest that I've gotten so far.
I wonder if it's also because a lot of people are working from home now too, so they care more about what their specs and stuff are for their computers.
And people like Nick,
work.
like Nick said, people are home.
Yeah,
People are home, so doing a pre-order during the day is a lot easier. When like, oh, I'm gonna do what I do, and I put a meeting on my calendar. Like, I have a very important business meeting. I need to try and pre-order things. So that's going to be very interesting on how that goes. We'll see what happens Xbox-wise. So going to be very interesting. Oh, man. All right. So we've got that. Let's see. I'm going to kind of cut down some of the gaming stuff a little bit. Fall Guys had a cheater. Whoa, what just happened?
Nothing.
Okay, your cat just like. Fall Guys had a cheater island. Yep. Random take. Tiger targets a top 10 episode of Beat That. You are full of it. You are full of it, Phil. Fall Guys had a cheater island, so people who got caught cheating, they started basically matchmaking them with other cheaters on the separate servers. Like this is amazing. So they had cheater island. They have since enacted some more anti-cheat, and something we talked about, or I think you guys talked about a couple of weeks ago. Big Yeetus, the giant hammer, the random giant hammer is I believe it is in production.
Yeah, basically they've just added a bunch of randomization to make it more difficult for people to follow the same path every time. And Big Yeetus, I don't think is necessarily specifically related to anti-cheatus, but it does make for some very funny wordplay.
Nice. Nice. So Fall Guys continues to be a big hit. Spellbreak also apparently is a really big hit right now. Is that and Among Us. Apparently we need to play some Among Us.
Yeah,
I have it. So does Brandon.
So we need to play this because I guess one person is a murderer and you don't know who that person is.
One person is an imposter.
I'm going with murderer.
They're an alien impersonating a part of your crew.
Okay, but they murder people, don't they?
I mean, they can. They don't have to. Theoretically,
Yes.
they could just sabotage the ship or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm going with murder. So I feel like this is.
we watched the cast of The Guild.
Oh yeah.
It was really fun.
So the thing that like to me that seems like that would be a great Extra Life game for all of us to play together. Like that could be a lot of fun. So much so, Phil. That's terrible.
That's fantastic.
So Among Us has been so popular all of a sudden that they have canceled the sequel to focus on the primary one and take everything they were going to do in the sequel and put it in the primary one.
Awesome.
So they announced the sequel and then canceled it like a week later.
It's really taken off.
So I would say expect. We're getting raided by somebody.
It's all right. Let's have it. Let's go for it.
Dr. Death 898. Ruthless Sports Small Streamers. Hey, that's awesome. Hey guys, hello
Hi,
everybody. Hello
Thanks for the
everybody
raid,
on
friends.
Twitch. Welcome
Hi,
to
guys.
Gather the
Hi.
Nerds.
Twitch to jump over when we're talking games.
Did you just say
That's true,
gas
yeah.
the nerds?
Gas nerds, gather the nerds. Don't
I
gas the
swear
nerds.
you just said gas the nerds.
Okay.
Gas them all.
I was like, whoa,
Zuko
hang on,
brought
time out.
friends.
This went way too dark.
Oh, not a.
real
He
quick.
says not a raid. He just brought some because Zuko just brought some friends over.
All right, man.
you.
Hey, right on. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Fantastic. We're here every Saturday for the most part.
That's true. And we are talking about games. As Sweet Joe says, friends where? Oh, burn. So,
David.
so small streamer community. We love it. We love it. We are talking about games. We haven't played it, but we are going to do, this is a good segue into Extra Life. We will be doing Extra Life again this year. And that will be, I imagine that will be in the repertoire of games that we will play.
I think we should do Among Us and maybe some Fall Guys.
Fall Guys for sure.
So when I bought my Series X, I got the Metro bundle. So I may dive into that for Extra Life.
Nice. That would be fun.
So, yeah, I've never played it, so just maybe a good opportunity to try a different game, you know?
Nene Dean says Fall Guys. Okay. Nene Dean, you have the greatest avatar I have ever seen. That is an alien pizza ship, and that is amazing.
That is.
So,
I feel like Fall Guys would make me angry too, and that's why I haven't played it yet. I feel like if it was a private server, so I knew it was just my friends, might not be so bad. But I think everybody at once, like there would be a lot of rage.
Well, with Among Us, we can specify who can join and who can't. So, I mean,
that would be fun.
Yay.
Fall Guys, you're right. Then you're just kind of at the mercy of the community, and sometimes it's bad. But
Probably.
Among Us will be a great experience.
I rage quit a lot of things, but I'll try.
It'll be fun. I don't know which date we're going to do the Extra Life stuff just yet. Whether or not, because there's Destiny 2 Beyond Light that comes out on basically the 10th. You've got the Xbox Series X that same time. Maybe that weekend. I think we're going to do a Friday night, Saturday night, as opposed to a 24-hour run, because when we're asleep in the middle of the night, it's hard to, whatever. So there we go. There's so nice angry aliens.
I think we're both doing it at the same time.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
They made it themselves. That's awesome.
That is awesome. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, yeah, we're going to have to go back through and we'll go back through post show. We'll go back through and follow everybody as we go back post show. If somebody, I'll start taking notes. So we'll go through and do that. So yeah, everybody who just joined and stuff like that, we sit here and talk about pop culture and games and just really random things pretty much every Saturday. So every Saturday afternoon we hang here, just a bunch of friends who used to get together in person and now we can't, and so we do it here instead.
We talk a lot about the Fast and the Furious and Die Hard.
That is true. we were talking about peak 90s movies earlier. So other great games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Apparently Jack Black is a playable character. Do with that what you will. So that's going to be amazing. EA has done something that is very unusual for EA, which is there's a bunch of ads in UFC 4, and a bunch of fans were just like, a bunch of fans were really kind of pissed off about it. EA has responded to the fan outcry about intrusive ads on UFC 4 and Reddit and confirmed that they've been disabled by the team. We've apologized for any disruption to gameplay that players may have experienced.
That's awesome.
That's pretty amazing for EA. We'll take that.
EA.
Well,
Good.
I think originally they weren't there, then they added them in, then everybody got mad, so they took them back out. so yay for responding to doing bad things to begin with.
Yeah, we tried to make money, and then we didn't like that. So, because here's the thing, everyone hates microtransactions, so we went the Facebook model, went with ads. Clearly,
Were the ads like pop-up type ads, or were they like in the game like billboards?
Game will continue after these ads.
Just after these messages.
I'm just saying, sometimes, like if I play Words with Friends, and then you have to watch a stupid ad, you have to wait until you play the game again. So I wasn't sure if it was something like that, like a mobile gaming.
And now a word from our sponsor. Oh, we've been kind of keeping an eye on the whole Epic Games Apple battle on the Apple Dev Kit and transaction or whatever. Epic Games has come back to the court. This is a few weeks ago. Asked the court to once more reinstate Fortnite to Apple's App Store after daily iOS players drops by 60%.
That's huge. I could not believe that number.
That's a lot of V-Bucks.
Oh,
It's the iPhone world, guys.
That's very, very true. Apparently, so there is some movement in the xCloud version of going on iOS. There's some movement about Microsoft may have found a way to make it possible on iOS, which is going to be awesome. Part of that might have been driven by the fact that Amazon has announced a new gaming service called Luna,
yeah.
which compares to Stadia, xCloud, and GeForce Now. And guess what? It's supported by iOS. So,
I mean, sort of.
no.
They're putting it in the browser, basically.
Yeah, basically is what they're doing. So yeah, Amazon Luna is an all-you-can-play access to different selections of games as part of separate channels, which sounds like some people are comparing it to a cable service, where basically you could subscribe to an FPS for a first-person shooter channel or an MMO channel or whatever, and
Or
you can
Ubisoft channel.
or an Ubisoft channel, and you can play those specific games for as low as $5.99. They'll have introductory pricing is $5.99 a month for that. So everyone's just taking it $5 or $6 at a time. Like,
It's
other thing-
harder for you to keep track of because you're like, oh, it's just $5. Oh, it's just $5, and then pretty
Yep.
soon it all adds up.
so I had apparently I had an eFax account for like 3 years that I never used, and they charged me like $6 a month, and I just happened to catch it on my credit card bill, and so like canceling it was difficult. They're like, well, what if I make it $2 a month? It's like, I haven't used it in 3 years. You've gotten all of my money. Like, you don't get any more of my money. Go
Lucky
away.
I got what you did.
Yeah, exactly right.
So the other thing about Luna, I don't know if you read it in the article, they're actually running off of Microsoft servers, Windows servers. So with Stadia, one of the problems they have is everybody that's running those games, it's actually coming off of Linux, and so they're having to do all kinds of porting and stuff like that. Not everything works great because they're using separate drivers, and so supposedly one of the things that's going to set Luna apart is it's going to be more native games, and they're going to run better on that hardware and software.
Now, doesn't xCloud run off basically a horde of Xboxes?
Basically, that's what they say, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's an older version of the Xbox, so technically, I think they're S's right now. So
It's all the Xboxes that you've traded into GameStop.
yeah, exactly. So even though you've got supposedly you're streaming from their cloud services, it's basically just playing it on the low power version of their current console. And they're talking about moving over to the Series X, but they're not there yet. So
No. Apparently, they can't make enough of them to begin with.
Apparently not.
So yeah, that's going to be.
Didn't Microsoft do something?
they do all kinds of things.
They do lots of things.
You talking about when they bought Bethesda?
Yeah.
How is
One of
that
the
not
many
in the
other things.
agenda?
That's what I was looking
Wasn't
and
it?
I couldn't-
Okay, the biggest gaming news in probably the last year, and it somehow missed the agenda. Yeah,
You mean
Microsoft buys
Seth Rogen keep
Bethesda.
coming back?
Like it was, I remember talking about it in Discord, and I think we just didn't get it in the links. But
Yeah, so there is, by the way, for everyone who's joined us watching, there is a Gather the Nerds Discord channel with a general area for chat and gaming and stuff like that.
And
Should you like
West
to
Wing.
make away with? And West Wing, of course. We do talk about West Wing a lot. So Microsoft buys Bethesda. The internet explodes. They're like, what's happening? Exclusivity kind of has a potential of going out the window. Well, actually going more towards Xbox and PC for stuff. So Bethesda also, that includes ID Software also. And so Doom Eternal is coming to Xbox Game Pass October 1st. Unfortunately, it is not going to be on the PC version of Xbox yet. That will be later in 2020 because that's when I want to play on PC because the benchmarks are absolutely insane. Like, it seems to be the most optimized game ever created by man or robot. So, but with Microsoft owning Bethesda and owning, basically Doom in that universe, how long before you get a Master Chief and a Doom guy mashup? I feel
man.
like
That'd be great.
I feel like you have to at some point.
that's like a fighter game waiting to happen.
Yeah. Somebody posted on Twitter, I saw that Microsoft now almost has enough characters for their own Smash game.
Right. That's what I was,
So yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a.
Would you include all the old rare characters for that?
I feel like you should. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So now, there are people who have grave concerns that Microsoft is going to break the Bethesda way of doing things, i.e., slowly. But Microsoft is basically saying it's not the case. Like, not yet. I mean, the fact that they delayed, Halo Infinite until sometime 2021, rumors September of 2021, goes to show that they don't want to put out a half-baked product. So, and in case you're wondering, the cat has taken Sam.
Yeah, I think I heard a noise.
and Sam is gone now.
He's in its dimensional tummy.
The fucking won this round.
That's true. Oh boy. Other thing, there's a very interesting article that I'm going to. We've talked about EVE Online before a little bit because it's this huge, massive game with politics and all kinds of stuff. There's a pretty interesting article that he says I have to run back to work, so he's out. Sam's out. The Flurkin has consumed him.
I didn't see the time.
I'm just going to read the headline to this article. EVE Online players get fired. Starts war to exterminate his old boss. Wow. The Mittani calls for reinforcements after months under siege by a former employee. Oh boy!
Talk about resentment.
Yeah, and here in 2014, an EVE Online player by the name of Villy was a fleet commander for one of the most powerful groups in the game. After helping to lead thousands of other players on successful campaigns across the virtual galaxy, he informed his in-game boss he needed to step away for a real-world military deployment. Thank you for your service. When he returned just a few months later, Villy had learned that he had effectively been laid off. So then he declared war on him. So it's a pretty interesting article if you read through it. There's a lot of instances in EVE Online of things like that, like power brokers and all this other stuff. Like, it's a pretty interesting thing for sure. We're going to save Scott Pilgrim for Sam because, we don't want to do that.
That's a must.
We will do that. Prince of Persia remake, hence the thing that we showed earlier. Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake coming back to Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Yep, there's that. Thanks, Sam. So there's that part of it. There's more Sea of Thieves, some Sea of Thieves news. We're going to wait on that until Sam comes back, which will be next week. So other than that, I think we're done now.
I think we are.
I think we're done. Thank you for everybody new who stopped by, said hello. Like I said, we will go back through. We'll go back through and do and give people follows and things like that as we.
I've already started that myself,
so we will go through and so you'll likely get follows from individual people and from Gather the Nerds as well. So our individual accounts in that. So thanks for stopping by and saying hello, which was pretty fun. So
yeah, feel free to join us, like us on Facebook as well.
Yep, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, we're out on YouTube as well. And if there's stuff you want to talk about and pop into the agenda, we've got our Discord with the general chat or stuff like that. Or, comment in any topics you want us to dig into and cover and stuff like that. We always like hanging out with other gamers and seeing what games have been played and missed or whatever. And so, and then if anybody is an arcade enthusiast, we can do some more stuff with the thing behind me. I'm trying to figure out a way on how to stream stuff from that is what I want to.
That'd be cool.
I want to, play some NBA Jam.
If you have
some big head mode.
You're on fire.
Would you be able to stream with the Pi?
I think so. I'm gonna try and figure it out because there's a lot of HDMI's and inputs and outputs and stuff that I can do with the cabinet. So it could be interesting. It could be a lot of fun.
I just realized we've been talking for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours at this point.
We had
you have a pineapple in the background.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Pineapple.
There is a pineapple.
Cyber
Come on, son. Come on, son.
Wait for it.
I need to set my game up, man. We took 2 weeks off. It's bad.
Yep.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did not. I was like, what is that behind it? It's a daggum pineapple.
Originally it was on the arcade cabinet, but I thought the arcade cabinet drew too much attention, so I wanted it kind of in the background like they do in Psych. If people don't know what the heck we're talking about, there is a pineapple in every episode of Psych, and it's hidden somewhere, like not obvious or whatever. In every episode, kind of like there's an alien in most episodes of South Park. I think that's the thing. So yeah, I was at Walmart. I saw a pineapple. I was like, "Oh, this is brilliant!" So I bought a pineapple specifically for this
pineapple.
That's a real pineapple specifically for this purpose.
You know they mold, right?
I'm not gonna say it's gonna stay there forever.
Okay.
What's funny is for most of this episode, I've been looking at the pictures because I know those are buildings, but my brain keeps seeing it as like a tablet background and the windows as apps. And
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Okay, your pictures, your Batgirl and
The Batgirl pictures.
yeah. So there's a building, right? And her.
Yeah, there are buildings. Yeah,
I think it's a building. Now I think
They
there's
are.
no letters.
no,
Okay, so
there are buildings and letters.
So what I'm assuming is the windows. They look like apps to me, like app icons. And
Okay.
so I keep looking at it, and it looks like a background for your tablet or something. And I keep
Gotcha.
having to remind myself those are windows. He didn't
Well,
get
So
artwork.
those are all right. So what look like windows are letters.
Okay.
So it says Shadow of the Bat. That's the episode title.
Kind of see the DOW.
Yeah, so those are episode titles. Those are a Bottleneck Gallery print that they did. They did one for like 40 or 50 episodes that they did these prints for, and that's Shadow of the Bat, which is the Batgirl episodes, part 1 and part 2.
Okay.
But now I'm looking at the window like that, and yeah, it totally looks like a building and windows. Like it looks like tiny
that's what I was
windows.
like.
Well, and to be fair, until you said Batgirl or Batwoman, I didn't even see that. I saw flamingos, and I was trying to figure out why in the world he had flamingos
I
on
can
pictures, but I didn't want to say
see that.
anything because I thought I'm going to be the idiot that got it wrong.
Well,
and
I
I'm
was
still
like-
the idiot that got it wrong.
It's Batgirl and Barbara Gordon.
I
But
was-
I didn't see. I keep pointing at things and it takes
I
me
know.
off camera.
I do the same.
I didn't see the cow. All I saw was the orange hair.
So
I can
like
see it.
it's
I
one
can
of
do it.
if it's like one of those things that you don't focus on, like one of those pictures that if you unthing your focus, something comes out at you. Like if I don't know what that is, I totally could see how that's a flamingo. Like
Yeah.
it's very obvious that I can't really like
And for
There.
us, you're probably what? You're 8 feet from that, maybe?
8-10 feet maybe.
Yeah. And so for us, the perception is way off.
I know.
Oh,
now,
You
yeah.
had flamingos behind you along with your pineapple.
Okay.
now that I know that those are letters, I feel like I was taking an eye test and like failing miserably.
Well, part of that is the camera too, because the camera autofocuses on me, so everything behind you is not in focus.
Yeah.
Like if
And
it
to be fair, we both have glasses, so we clearly failed our vision test.
Yeah.
So yes, indeed. So
Okay.
well, gang, that's amazing. So we have flamingos and pineapples. We've got another shirt idea. I'm gonna have to go back to the beginning of the episode and see what that was. Something that Hannah said, something about I don't remember. We don't need your something. It was
Oh, I think it was the mother effing scrolls.
no, it was the we don't need your physics, your something.
Oh,
Like we were
yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
don't
that.
bring
Science and your physics and your possibility.
the
Yeah,
nerd
we'll have to-
equivalent to come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need that for sure. So, well, gang, this has been episode 165 of Gather the Nerds. You can find all of our sources for all of our article stuff that we run for through each episode. Even though if we don't talk about it, it still stays up there. Is up on gatherthennerds.com. Like us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. We appreciate the follows and the likes. That always helps us bring more stuff to you. Extra Life is coming up. I have some ideas for things for Extra Life. So this is going to be fun. Until next week, which I think everybody should be around, I think. Maybe, possibly.
As
Far as I know. I'm Cav, that's Nick.
See you guys.
And Hannah.
Bye. I'm not evil.
See everybody. Bye-bye.
Questionable.
I'm not.
Sometimes.
No.